So a few months ago, a friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, Patrick Tipton, and I were sitting around discussing the state of skills. Now, we're not talking about the skills of an accountant or the skills of a lawyer. We're talking about those physical skills, those skills that combine both the mind and the hands that lead towards something, whether you're building something, whether you're destroying something, whether you're restoring something. So we talked quite a bit about skills and the skills gap that exists today. The fact that so many of our kids are being pushed into college when there's nobody left to fix your cars or wire your house or build your house. So as part of that discussion, we began to wonder, how easy is it to add to your skill sets? How difficult can it be to add to your skill sets? And one of the things that we concluded, that if you go out and get just one skill, that once you've gotten that one skill, and then you begin to understand the process or that connection between your brain and your hands accomplishing those skills, it gets easier and easier to add more skills, because you can build upon the life's experience. You can build upon that relationship between your hands and your brains and the things that you accomplish. So we concluded that actually if you get one skill, it's actually much easier to get 2, 3, 4 or more skills. Now, neither one of us were against a college education. In fact, both of us have multiple degrees. But those degrees, it doesn't give the emotional or physical satisfaction that restoring an old Jeep or restoring a firearm can give you when you see that thing unfold or accomplish in front of you. What led to this discussion was that Patrick and I share many similar skills. We're both guitarists, we're both pilots. We both do restorations. We both have interest in these old Jeeps. Matter of fact, that's currently Patrick's business because he owns Portrayal Press, where his entire business is built around the history and the restoration of old military vehicles. Anyway, so we began to talk about those passions, the passion for restoration, the passion for using your hands, the passion for the creativity that comes when you learn a new song on the guitar and you can play it and perform it. But we also believe that we also talked about that skills or gaining skills don't have to be something that you did in your past, that gaining skills can be something that is a lifelong adventure, a lifelong process of getting smarter and knowing more things. A good example of this is I am not a trained mechanic. I am not a Jeep mechanic. I know many who are trained as mechanics, who work as mechanics, and I admire their efforts and I admire their accomplishments. I do this because I'm an enthusiast. I do this because I understand how to use my hands. I understand how to take information from all these different places and bring it in and apply it to something like restoring a Jeep or fixing a Jeep or making a Jeep run again. But my real skill is down in my machine shop, where I've been doing custom firearms and restoration work on firearms for decades. I am trained as a woodworker, but I learned that skill by asking other people, by attending classes, by just experimenting, just by jumping in, seeing what comes out of the act, and then if it doesn't come out right, okay, you'll learn from that, and then you move on to the next iteration, the next possibility, when you try to do that same thing over again. And it is through repetition. It is through practice that you get better at almost every skill. Whether it's flying an airplane, whether it's playing the guitar, the more you do it, the more you repeat it, the better you become at it. Now, to that end, I am retired. I retired from a company that I worked for nearly 45 years, and I gained a lot of those physical skills in the employment of that company. I ran their wood shop for 30 years and then did other things like design and process development. And again, every time I do something, it enriches my life and I become more whole because of the efforts. So, I am retired. I am in my golden years, but I don't want to quit. I don't want to sit down. I don't want to shrivel up. Sitting on a couch reading books or watching YouTube is not how I envision my life into the future. I want to do as much as I can physically that my body and my brain still allows me to do. Now, why am I telling you all this? Well, before I retired, I bought a lot of stuff. I bought a powder coating system. I've already talked about that in a previous video. I bought that because I wanted to use it down in my gunsmithing or my gun restoration shop to do powder coating on certain parts that you couldn't blue or that had finishes that needed to be replaced. I also bought welding machines. I bought an acetylene torch. I bought a TIG welder. I bought a MIG welder, and also stick welding. Years ago, I took a 40-hour tech class in welding, and we went through all of those 3 processes. And I enjoyed that semester tremendously. And when I came out of it, I actually felt pretty confident that I could stick some pieces of metal together. And here I am now, 70 years old, and I want to continue that quest for more skills, to learn more skills, to improve both my hands and my mind as I look to do more things with those skills. I'm already restoring or maintaining, if you will, these old Willys. I've got that CJ5 that's been apart for decades, and I want to put that back together. But I don't want to just put it together. I want to modify it. I want to make more of it than just a standard stock restoration. I want to learn to weld. I want to go back and study my welding and get better at welding. All of that said, I want to start a new series, and I'm hoping that you would be interested in this, and that is me learning new skills. That is me adding to the mechanical skill sets that I already have, and I want to bring you on that journey if you're interested. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to learn to powder coat. I mentioned that again in that previous video. I'm going to powder coat these things, but I have to learn how. I've never done it before. We're going to do one pedal at a time, and we're going to learn from that first pedal and then apply that knowledge, that experience to the second pedal, because that's what I want to do. So if I can do it on something that's not very important, like a Jeep pedal, then when it comes time to do it on a firearm or a component of a firearm, at least at that point, if I'm doing it for a customer, I don't feel like I'm learning on their parts, I'm learning on my parts. Same with welding. I'd like to actually learn to weld thin metal so I can do floor pans. I've got an old Jeep body that used to be on my Willys MB. We replaced that body, but we kept the original. And I'm thinking, wouldn't it be fun to turn around and take that body and repair it, to fix it, to weld sheet metal in, to make it whole again? I thought that'd be a great way to learn to do thin panels. Also, down in my gunsmithing shop, I'd like to learn. I have an old Winchester low wall that the lever is broken on it, and I would like to be able to TIG weld that lever to do that repair with that TIG welder, but I need to learn how to do it before I go and start messing with a 125 or 130-year-old Winchester rifle that has value unless I mess it up. So I'd like you guys to come along. So I'm going to create a series. I don't know what I'm going to title it yet, but it's going to be me learning skills or improving my skills or learning new skills. And I want you, if you know the things that I'm doing, to comment. Not to comment in a negative way, not to say, Bill, you idiot. You know, if I do something wrong and you know how to do it, teach me, become a part of the community. Show me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Give me examples that I can look at. Because that's the fun. The community is what's great about this YouTube thing that I'm doing. My other channel, 6 Round Studio, where I actually do these firearms restoration. If you're not subscribed over there, consider heading over to 6 Round Studio, where I do these firearms restorations. That community is growing. I'm starting to talk to new, younger gunsmiths who are asking to learn more of the things that I do so that they can do them in their own business moving forward. That is my plan. I hope it's something you guys can embrace. I hope it's something that you'll subscribe to. I hope it's something that you will be a part of and help me improve my skills or learn new skills. And at the end of the day, I become enriched for the experience, not just for learning the skills, but for having a relationship with a broader YouTube audience. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to grow this thing just short of 1,000 subs, trying to get to 1,000 subs so I can start monetizing this thing. I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you in the next video. I've got to get these things powder coated. Yeah, I just do. Bye, guys.